Hi everyone. Welcome to this panel. It's called Changing Gears. So let's change into a faster gear now. I've got one panelist missing. Ankit, where are you?
He's coming.
Okay. So we'll wait for Ankit, but just to give you a brief on the panel, we're talking about changing gears. We're talking about companies that have innovated, and in doing so, they've caught on speed and zoomed ahead of competition. So we're talking of stories, we're talking of a diverse set of panel. We're really lucky we have the best panel available on this kind of subject. Companies that have done wonderfully well in terms of smart, simple innovations and really zoomed ahead. We have people from manufacturing, service, agro represented in this panel. We have people from nooks and corners of India. We have people, brilliant stories. So I'm just going to dive straight into this. But what we're going to set as an agenda, what we're going to set as an objective for this session is to try and pick out the mindset of the organization when they were doing this innovation and try to figure out that what it was that causes innovation, to try to imbibe the same values and take it forward. Since we're already seated in an order, Akshay, I'm going to start straight with you, being one of the younger ones. And so before he tells his story, we're talking of someone who's not just changed gears, maybe he's changed vehicles, because he's gone from his traditional family business into something completely new and something completely trendy and today. So Akshay, over to you, over to your story, please.
Thanks, Gaurav. Am I audible? Slightly louder. Okay, thanks, Gaurav. Really honored to be present as a panelist here amongst these really accomplished individuals. Yeah, so my story's been quite interesting. I think before I even mention about my family business, I do want to take a minute and thank SPJIMR for a fantastic FMB program. So I'm an engineer by education, and engineering taught me to be a very analytical, very numbers sort of person, so worked very hard on my left brain. But in business, it's extremely essential that both your halves of the brain are working fine. They are both equally developed, because you obviously need the right part of the brain as well. And yeah. You can't hear me?
Akshay, go on. They can hear you. The monitors aren't there. Go on.
Sorry. So FMB gave me that opportunity, taught me about business, helped me work on the more abstract matters of business beyond the analytics of business. And that, I think, was extremely crucial in the way that I could participate and contribute to the family's manufacturing business. So my family business is about 40 years old. It's a plastics product manufacturing business. I joined it in about 2010, worked in it for about 10 years before decided to branch out and start something which is slightly different. When I joined the business, my father, who's the founder, while the business is 40 years old, it was a joint family business, and my father had to restart on his own in the late 2000s. So he essentially had put in about 10 years of work before I could join him. And when I joined, it was a small scale, single promoter run, 1 or 2 manufacturing locations business. After having invested 10 years along with my brother in that business, when I actually moved on, the business has become a medium-sized corporation. We have 5-6 manufacturing plants in India now, run by professionals. So I think that was the biggest contribution that I could make to that business, which was to convert it from a promoter-run business to a professionally run, from a small scale to a medium-sized corporation. And that essentially did come from FMB. Thank my professors, thank my time, thank my friends there. Fantastic learnings from the course. And when I decided to move on with my brother and start something new, again FMB was extremely crucial, because it gave us the track to how do I identify what's the next industry that I want to get into, and how do you figure out what's the business, what will you need to do to succeed in that business. And the business that we chose after a lot of deliberation and after a lot of SWOT analysis and a bunch of other of those tools was celebrity fan engagement. We started just before COVID, the pandemic lockdown, the first lockdown, and what we identified as a gap in the market that we thought was worth our time to plug was giving power to fans to reach out and connect with their favorite celebrities on demand. Now these can be connections through a one-way connection like a text message or a video message from your favorite celebrity, or these could be more bilateral interactive engagement, which is video calls, etc. So you can actually get on a live video call with your favorite celebrity, chat, and this can be for yourself, it can be for as a gift to a friend, family, co-worker. So that's the business that I now run. It's called Tring. It's a celebrity fan engagement platform. The parallel that we have is a company based in the US, which was one of the first ones to do this globally, and it's now roughly valued at about $2 billion. So we're fairly new, 2.5, 3 years old now, but growing quite well.
Awesome, Akshay. So we want a birthday greeting for my son from his favorite cricketer. I can do that, right?
For sure, Gaurav.
And what gave you this idea? Just give a brief of how you got into this.
So before we started Tring, actually we did attempt a few other businesses, but then I think the good thing was even though those businesses were not exactly successes, but they did give us the most crucial element for Tring, which was learnings. We knew exactly what needed, to work in what certain fashion for Tring to be a success. And while we were exploring a bunch of different ideas, we thought this was the gap which honestly was not being worked on in the country. And it's India. We love our celebrities. The fandom levels are absolutely crazy. So of course there was a huge market that could be captured there.
Awesome. So moving to the other side, to someone who's a celebrity in her own right, Lady Luck, Priti Rathi. Who here knows Anand Rathi Group? Of course we all do. So Priti, your story, over to you.
First of all, my FMB 6 guys, where are you? I don't get the confidence to talk till I don't see your faces, not in an FMB setting. So I think just a little bit in terms of background, I think when I joined FMB, I was part of the financial services business, and I think that point itself, I think that was a turning point in financial services because exchanges they became, the electronic exchanges came about, the way everything, the way people worked, it became a lot more professional. I still remember my, assignments and chats with Murthy sir, who's sitting here, where we kept saying, okay, what does the customer need? Speak to the customer because you're doing what everybody's doing, speak to the customer. And I think that was the first insight to say that, everybody was doing full service financial, financial services company. And the way we were doing it was very identical to each other because we were competing saying, okay, if somebody's doing this, can we do this better? Nobody went to the customer and spoke to them and said, look, is this your need? I mean, do you need all of these complicated products? Do you need all of this complicated jargon? Do you need, the amount of research that we were doling out? Who is actually paying attention to it? And we realized that people who were doing them were feeling more happy about it, and the customer wasn't really sort of looking at it. And we started with one particular business, which was our wealth management business, where we said, okay, let's try and understand what's happening there. And I think people, I think even with our experience and our customers, when we spoke to them, they said our idea of wealth management is that we give you the money, we want your advice so that we are able to sleep comfortably at night, knowing that our money is growing. We are not sort of saying that we want to, this is not our core business. Our core business is something else, right? So can you do it in a more simplistic manner so that I also know what you're doing? I think that gave us a very deep insight that what you need to do is first keep it very simple. You narrow down the products that will still give you the same returns, that will still, you don't have to prove to the world that I'm doing something very unique in terms of a financial product. I think it's the end goal that you're able to meet. And I think that's where my journey started, and I think it was, meeting a lot of the customers. We also rolled out, once we realized that wealth management was such a simple thesis to follow, we also rolled it out to all our retail investors, so across the country. That's where, again, I met a lot of people where we spoke about financial planning and, try to move the needle from trading into saying, why don't you, plan and invest for a longer term. That's when I met a lot of women. Actually, the term is wrong, not lot, but a few women amongst the many men who would actually, even if they came to sort of speak about it, they came to the table, but they would always go back saying, I'll ask my father, I'll ask my brother. So it was very disturbing to say that women who are very focused on their education, they're running businesses or their career, but when it came to money management, it was typically something that there was no ownership about. And then there was this huge widening gap. All of digitization was happening, demonetization happened. I think every woman in the country woke up saying, oh my God, I need to do something about my money now because I don't want this to happen a second time with me. So I think the setting was right, and for me it was very important with technology. We'd understood technology, we'd built a technology company which enables businesses, but really use it as a platform to say, okay, how can we actually bridge this gap? It was a big move. I think it was really moving out of comfort zone. I stepped out of Anand Rathi to set up LXME, my platform, which is a money platform for women. And I think to date, our latest, in fact, just 15 days back, because we keep speaking to our customers, we realize that, sometimes when you're doing, it's the same mistake. You're building an app and your entire focus is on saying, how can I build the best app out there? But if you speak to your customer, what she's saying is that I don't need a best app. I just need something that enables me to do this fast, quick, time-efficient manner. So I think that's where, for me, this journey is. Today, LXME is a platform which has about 200,000 women already on it. We've built a mutual fund AUM of more than $1 million. And the idea is, right now, it's an investment platform. We're plugging in lending. We're also getting savings bank account because we realize that our woman actually needs a very time efficient. She wants to go to only one platform to do all of this, banking, investing. She won't go to different platforms, and because she doesn't, the investment piece gets left out. So I think that's what it is, and I don't really know whether I should say God bless ChatGPT, but I think too soon to say that. But I think what we are really understanding is there's so much that is available that can bridge this gap very quickly, very simply, without really spending years building technology. So that's about it.
Brilliant. Listening to the customers does help, clearly. Let's move to someone whose story is made out of an audacious dream, right? And a guy with a big heart. Iqbal Paji, your story, please.
Hello. Hi, greetings. Good afternoon and greetings. So my story is just a case study I'll share, though you all are learned sitting in front of me and along with me. जो जनरली एक फैमिली बिजनेस में होता है वो हुआ, और I joined my family business in 2009, and after completing this FMB in 2014, I was pushed by my family members to lead the business and to work and lead in this same family business. So the business started growing from 100 CR to 250 CR. It grew by 2018. So that time the attributes of the members started changing, which generally होता ही है. So मैंने कहा यार एक call लेना पड़ेगा अभी. Either I have to take a call right now, or taking a call at the age of 40 will be difficult to establish yourself. वो कहते ज़्यादा पढ़ा लिखा है तू बाहर चल भाई. तो ऐसा हो जाता है. So in 2018 I started a business. I basically identified a gap and evaluated it. So I ventured into completely a totally segment from boilers to hospitality and entertainment segment. So started establishing Punjab Film City, the first official legal film city of North India, right now operational. So I opened a test lab in 2018 with 55 lakhs hard cash and land worth around 8 CR that time. I was totally mid-scratch, and was whatever this जो family division में आता है वो सब property form में आया मेरे पास. तो property form में जो आता है तो my father's health was at stake, क्योंकि psychologically एक जो business जिसने बनाया हो और वापस टेक आउट करके छोड़ के अपना आ जाए, तो वो बहुत चैलेंजिंग होता है। तो मेरे लिए वो चैलेंज था कि उस सोशल स्टेटस को वापस कैसे लेके आना है, और पैसा है नहीं और पैसा सब प्रॉपर्टी में है, तो प्रॉपर्टी बेचूंगा वो फिर सट्टा है, वो फिर डैड की हेल्थ खराब होगी। सो आई स्टार्टेड दिस टेस्ट लैब इन 2018 विद 55 लाख रुपीज़ हार्ड कैश, एंड वो भी 2 साल में, 2017 में 35 लाख डाला, फिर 20 लाख डाला नेक्स्ट ईयर, और आज 4 साल के अंदर 5 साल 2023 प्रोजेक्ट की जो वैल्यूएशन है वो 60 करोड़ है, अदर देन द प्रॉपर्टीज, विद एसेट कॉस्ट वैल्यू इज 35 to 38 lakhs। तो ये एक ग्रू किया, ये चेंज करना था। तो ये चेंज जो ये सब जो पैरामीटर्स चेंज हुए, इसका कारण था कि मैंने जो गैप आइडेंटिफाई किया था, many of the friends in Punjab, they are into, someone is into textile, someone is into coke bottling और cycle manufacturing, और different paper में है अलग अलग। तो पंजाब में एग्रीकल्चर के अलावा कोई नेचुरल सोर्स है नहीं। सो आई आइडेंटिफाइड यूथ एज अ नेचुरल रिसोर्स। सो मैंने सोचा कि यूथ को नया डायरेक्शन दे दें। ये कनाडा ही भागते हैं सब पंजाब वाले, जब कहते हैं हम लोग कनाडा जाएं या वो बाहर जाएं काम करना है, तो मैंने कहा यार इनको नया डायरेक्शन देते हैं। आई एम अ थर्मल इंजीनियर बाय प्रोफेशन। सो मैंने थर्मल इंजीनियर किया, उसके बाद FMB किया, बिजनेस स्ट्रेटजी के प्रोग्राम सेंटर माइकल पोर्टर अटेंड किए। सो वो यूथ को नया डायरेक्शन क्या हो सकता था कि इंजीनियर बनाते हैं या मेडिकल में भेजते हैं, तो मैं चाहता था कि एक बच्चा आर्ट के अंदर अपना करियर बनाए। तो ये टोटली अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड सेक्टर था। जब मैंने आइडेंटिफाई किया कि पंजाबी म्यूजिक वीडियो वाज लार्जेस्ट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इन द वर्ल्ड, सबसे ज़्यादा बनता है, चलता है, चाहे हॉलीवुड वाला होगा ज़्यादा, बट पंजाबी गाना सब चलता है, सब सुनते हैं, सब प्रोडक्शन बहुत ज़्यादा है, और टोटली अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड सेक्टर था। तो मैंने सिर्फ उसको ऑर्गेनाइज किया। ऑर्गेनाइज करने से क्या हो गया, प्रोडक्शन वॉल्यूम बढ़ गया, प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट ड्रॉप डाउन बाय 75%। जो म्यूजिक वीडियो, जनरल वीडियोस पहले 10 लाख में बनते थे, वो अब 2.5 लाख में बनते हैं, वेरी गुड वंस। जो सेलिब्रिटी आप देखते हैं टीवी पे, उन लोग 2.5 लाख में वीडियो बना देते हैं उनका, वो लगता है आपको करोड़ रुपए लगाया है। सो दोस आर द वैल्यूज विच आर बीन क्रिएटेड बाय द स्टूडियोज लाइक अस। सो विद द स्टूडियो के बाद फिर मैंने फिल्म सिटी की सारी NOCs पैरेलल ली, और अब फिल्म सिटी इज अंडर कंस्ट्रक्शन। Till date, I have not invested or taken any money from outside. It is only those 55 lakhs in this era, which is creating a 100 CR property. So that's
Brilliant.
actually what is happening. Thank you so much. I think
Amazing. Brilliant story. Let's come to 2 more businesses that we have here. Both are FMCG businesses. Let's go to a name which all of you know. Ever heard of Chitale Bandhu? Yeah, Chitale, who all hands up? Yeah, yeah. So we have someone from the family here, and now he's the 3rd generation. He's our alumni from the OMP program, and now the 4th generation is joining soon as well. So Giriji, your story please.
Yeah, thank you. Already the 4th generation is there and working. When I joined, probably if the time till date we take, it was already 2/3 of the journey till date was happened, and I am witnessing that 1/3 of the journey till now. Disruption is kind of a topic today's discussion, or this session's discussion. So when my grandfather started it, it was kind of social disruption, because in 1930s or 39s, in India, an Indian starting to purchase a milk and selling a milk was a kind of different idea altogether. And it was supposed to be, you know, not so good to sell the milk. In those times, he realized the value of the milk and started this business. From that onwards, the journey is like, in 80s we started computerized billing for the farmers. So that was another disruption we introduced. Even we started training programs for the farmers. So that vendor development program started from our side for the farmers. Then probably we were the among the first who had computerized PLC based or frequency drive based systems way back in 90s for all the processing units. So all these type of disruption cycles we always have broken. Even we were the first to introduce the plastic pouch, milk in plastic pouch in India. Earlier it was like Dudwala giving you a loose milk or a glass bottled milk. From there onwards till date right now, we have gone through genetics improvement for the again for the farmer, because this agriculture, as actually was saying, that is a thin margin, high quantity, very unorganized business sector in agriculture that milk is. So unless and until you organize the efficiency of the raw material, that is production from the farmer, you cannot get a good quality and consistency of the product. So we always put that thing as a priority, and we extended all the technologies available from the universe to the farmers. So the latest one in that field is Sexcel semen. We started artificial insemination way back in again 90s, but 4 years back we had a joint venture with an American and British company to produce a sorted semen where the cow or buffalo will give birth to the female calf only. So that increases, and that too with the progeny tested semen. So that is improving a lot the efficiency of the farmers, and it is going not only double but triple in 3 years. So last 4 years we are selling around 6 lakh semen doses of that sorted semen, along with more than 60 lakh regular semen with progeny tested bulls. Why I am telling about these apart from the bakarwadis and doodh milk is all the product and final product that comes to you has so many things behind working it, and unless and until you have that disruption thought process behind it, probably it is not going to come up to what stage right now you are seeing as a brand name, probably what you call. Along with this, we started generally, as you know, in Pune. So we used to, laughed at as like, there is no branch elsewhere. So we are confined to 2 shops, but that was a story, I think 35 years back. In Pune itself, we had more than 35, 40 our own shops, franchisee model. But we are now expanding with more in another parts of country. And today probably is my 50th shop in Andheri and 51st in Virar tomorrow. We have the constraints because a lot of fresh product is there, low shelf life product is there, and again the product which requires refrigeration is there. So that the expansion with the quality that customer perceives has to be in resonance with what it demands. So that is a little slower pace as of today, but with this 50 plus, now probably I can vouch that 500 is within 4 years. So that disruption we are going to do with the technology right now we have, because all the shops are connected in the cloud, and cloud is now a buzzword. But when we started using the server and cloud computing was in 1997-98. So that was what we are, always trying the things to, get the best possible out of the technology with the disruption. Thank you.
You also told me a term, cow on cloud. Is that a term?
Yeah, that's what we talk
so
as a
they use
motto.
this term cow on
Cow on the cloud.
And online they assess temperature of the cow, conditions, etc. That's what I understood.
Yeah.
On a lighter note, today we are talking about farm to fork kind of concepts. Theirs is a truly moo to moo brand. I mean, sorry, that
Farmer
joke
to
was for me.
consumer.
Sorry. Also, just to understand the mad scale of this business, Girishji, can you mention the number of liters of milk in Bombay alone, just to give us a sense of the volume?
Mine or
Milk overall as well as
overall, Bombay consumes more than 20 lakh liters of milk. Bombay as a
daily, yeah?
Mumbai as a daily, yeah, as a
20 lakh
as
liters
a,
is
if
what?
you can say Vasai Virar to South Mumbai and Andheri to Navi Mumbai, length and breadth, Mumbai itself as a city consumes more than 20 lakh liters of milk. Maharashtra more than 45 lakh liters of milk. So it's huge, as actually has already said. The figures are already there. So milk in India as a GDP contribution stand alone is more than 10%. So it's a huge market. It's a huge product line, you can say, and there is a huge possibility.
Awesome, thanks. We'll come back to this. Moving to the second FMCG brand, Ankit from Mysore Deep, who even, I mean, MS Dhoni endorses him. So go on, Ankit, your story.
Hello. So Gaurav, I've been fortunate to speak at a lot of events, but today is very unique because my father is in the audience. And it is the first time, and I hope he listens me this time. So with the due permission of yours and my co-panelist, I would like to speak in Hindi, if that's okay. तो मेरी जर्नी से पहले स्टार्ट होती है मेरे फादर की जर्नी जो यहाँ पर है. उन्होंने कपड़े की दुकान पे अपने मामा जी की कपड़े की दुकान पे वो काम करते थे और उनको कभी सूट नहीं हुआ कि वो वहाँ काम करें, कहीं जॉब करें. उनका विजन एक एंटरप्रेन्योर बनने का था. और मेरे बर्थ के बाद आई वॉज बॉर्न 1985, 2 जुलाई 1985. उसके बाद उन्होंने वो जॉब छोड़ दिया और 1992 तक करीब 7 से 8 बिजनेस में उन्होंने ट्राई किया एंड ही फेल्ड. तो सब लोग को ऐसा लगने लगा कि ही कैन नॉट बिकम अ बिजनेसमैन, इंक्लूडिंग माई ग्रैंड मदर. तो मेरे पापा के जो मैटरनल अंकल्स हैं उन लोगों का अगरबत्ती ट्रेडिंग का बिजनेस था उस समय और काफ़ी अच्छा बिजनेस था, सक्सेसफुल बिजनेस था. तो मेरी दादी ने मेरे पापा को बोला कि आप भी अपने मामा जी की तरह बेंगलोर जाओ और अगरबत्ती का ट्रेडिंग बिजनेस करो, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इज़ नॉट फॉर यू. तो शायद उनका ईगो हर्ट हुआ है, उनको बुरा लगा. उन्होंने बोला कि एक दिन ऐसा आएगा जब बेंगलोर के लोग यहाँ पे अगरबत्ती की एजेंसी लेने आएंगे. एंड बेंगलोर इन अगरबत्ती इज़ लाइक द थिंग. सो ही स्टार्टेड दिस बिजनेस इन 91-92 और बहुत मेहनत किया उन्होंने एंड विद borrowing 5 lakh rupees each from his maternal uncles and starting in garage of our house, about 100 square feet ka garage hoga. And about 99-2000 this our brand called Z Black clicked across the country. That was innovation. जब ऐसे पैकेजिंग अगरबत्ती में बिकते हैं जहाँ भगवान का नाम होता है, कलरफुल होते हैं, ब्राइट होते हैं, उन्होंने एक बिल्कुल एक सिगरेट के पैकेट जैसा या एक परफ्यूम के पैकेट जैसा निकाला. जेड ब्लैक, नाम भी इंग्लिश, लोग बोलते हैं क्यों जेड ब्लैक, बट उनको कुछ डिफरेंट करना था. जेड ब्लैक नाम का एक अगरबत्ती का प्रोडक्ट निकाला, वेरी गुड फ्रेग्रेंस एट अ वेरी गुड प्राइस और इट गॉट क्लिक्ड अक्रॉस द कंट्री. एकदम से नाम हो गया एंड ही वॉज वेरी स्मार्ट टू टर्न दैट प्रोडक्ट इन टू द ब्रांड. तो जो भी अगरबत्ती इज लाइक इट्स लाइक यू नो कस्टमर को फ्रेग्रेंस अच्छा लगेगा तो भी ही लास्ट फॉर अ न्यू फ्रेग्रेंस. इट्स लाइक fashion. So you have to change, you know, keep innovating in the fragrances. So वो Z Black का logo लगाने लगे. And around 2003, I just passed out from school on 23rd May 2003 मेरा school के results आए. And 31st May 2003 को हमारे factory में fire हुआ. It was a huge fire. सब कुछ zero हो गया. And I saw him crying for the first time. मैंने पहली बार रोते हुए देखा. And that day I decided that I have to be with him. And that was one of the major turning points of my life. और कोइंसिडेंटली उस समय हमारे फादर के 2 ब्रदर्स हैं, उनके डिस्प्यूट स्टार्ट हुए एंड हमारा फैमिली डिवाइडेशन स्टार्ट हुआ. While dispute one of the day with disputes with his younger brother, पापा ने बोला कि आप why are you they were not happy with अगरबत्ती business. तो पापा बोले कि भाई क्यों झगड़ रहे हो, इतना अच्छा बिजनेस अपना चल रहा है. पापा said we are earning X amount and I was like what this is the kind of money we earn at that time. It was small but it was like अगरबत्ती में भी ऐसा हम लोग कर सकते हैं. And then I said okay, that made me join the business and मैंने बिजनेस ज्वाइन किया. मैंने और पापा ने फैमिली डिवाइडेशन हुआ 2005 में. मैंने और पापा ने मेहनत किया वापस. वी बिल्ट इट फ्रॉम स्क्रैच अगेन, ऑलमोस्ट स्क्रैच. और देन ऐसा होता था कि लोग अगरबत्ती बिजनेस को रिकॉग्नाइज ही नहीं करते थे. मतलब मैं कहीं जाता था, कोई बोलता था क्या करते हो अगरबत्ती, अच्छा ठीक है. आई रिमेंबर वन फाइन डे आई वाज फ्लाइंग फ्रॉम दिल्ली टू इंदौर. इन द फ्लाइट मेरे पास में आई स्टार्टेड टू टॉक टू दैट गाय एंड आई आस्क्ड व्हाट यू डू. सो ही वाज लाइक वी डू डेवलपमेंट फॉर अ वेरी बिग रियल एस्टेट ब्रांड. तो बोले मुझे पूछता आप क्या करते हो. मैंने मेरा अगरबत्ती का बिजनेस. उसने वापस मुड़ के ही नहीं देखा मेरी तरफ. मेरा तो लव मैरिज हुआ, मेरे छोटे ब्रदर का अरेंज मैरिज हुआ है. तो उसके लिए हमने बायोडाटा बनाया. तो जो मीडिएटर था वो बोलता था ये यार अगरबत्ती के बिजनेस में कहाँ से तुमको मैं प्रपोजल ला के दूँ, कोई और बिजनेस हो तो बताओ. बट ठीक है. एंड ये दिस वॉज द स्टोरी, दिस वॉज गोइंग ऑन. वन फाइन डे 2017 द न्यूज ब्रोक आउट दैट ओके वी हैव साइंड MS धोनी and everything changed for us. This also in business, but I think personally ज़्यादा change हुआ professional से. सब लोग recognize अच्छा अगरबत्ती भी कोई business हो सकता है. Okay, you can do it. अच्छा मतलब है ये एक business है कि आप MS धोनी को sign कर रहे हो. मतलब that was something big when he was captain of the Indian cricket team. And then we took Hrithik Roshan in 2020 for our different brand called Manthan Dhoop. Or recently we are the prayer partners of Delhi Capitals. So we are the first agarbatti company in India to be a partner of any IPL team and first company from Madhya Pradesh to do it. और आज हम लोग we are the second largest agarbatti company in India with around 3,500 workers. 80% is unskilled female workers. We have whole production capacity is about production space is about 10 lakh square feet. 4 factory 10 lakh square feet में. We have the world's biggest raw agarbatti manufacturing unit where we have 800 machines. 3 करोड़ अगरबत्तियाँ हम लोग डेली बनाते हैं खुद के कंजम्पशन के लिए. We have 35 offices, around 3,500 distributors, 1,200 products. We have one international office that is in US. We export to 40 odd countries. Yeah, I guess that's it.
Awesome, awesome, brilliant.
Thank you.
Truly brilliant. So let's just summarize and digest this. We're on the panel, we're talking changing gears, we're talking about innovations, and we're talking about scaling. Largely, when we talk innovating disruptions to zoom ahead, we're talking of innovations and we're talking of scaling up. And if you see the panel, you see their stories. We've spoken of people who've stayed within their business, gone deeper, like Priti, listened to their customer closely, kept talking to them, innovating the product to customize it very close to their needs, go as deep and close as possible to the solution, and then come out with something very specific for a certain target segment and completely customize and dominate. Brilliant. We are talking of the Chitale story where if you see they've gone deeper into backward detailing, innovating on the process, innovating with respect to technology, the packaging, innovating on your distribution channel. Same story with Ankit as well, innovating on the brand, the marketing, building on a certain work done in the previous generations, taking it forward, building base. If we look at Akshay and Iqbal's stories, these are stories where they've changed, not just innovated in the business, they've innovated on the business. They've even looked at other opportunities, branched out into completely current subjects. One into the entertainment industry, the other one into sort of celebrity marketing. We can base it on that. But brilliant. So that's the panel we have. Now let's delve deeper into what was the mindset, some questions from our side. We'll now get into more interaction mode. So this one's to the full panel. Just in 1 or 2 words, can you describe what it is? What is the key virtue that a business needs to have to encourage or promote innovation? So we can start with you, Preeti. Just one or two words. What is the one key virtue that an organization needs to have to encourage innovation?
So I think one, we talk about, I think all FMB families, and once we've done FMB, we talk about culture all the time, right? I remember going back home and talking, saying we need to work on our culture. Not knowing that there was already enough amount of work being done to build culture. So I think just having that, a setting where people, and innovation, by the way, doesn't always come from, the family members or, the people at the top. A lot of the times actually comes right from below, because these are the people who are in touch with the customers. And I think creating that platform where people feel empowered, they feel confident enough to share and to say, okay, this is what we want to do. So that is the first thing. Second, I think the ability to actually then give them the bandwidth or the wherewithal to say, okay, and now I'm startup world, so I speak this language all the time, try fast, fail fast, build fast. If you're able to do that, because we are also in times of, these are agile times, you can't innovation also has to come with speed. But you can't, I remember once early on in my career, and I said, I was doing commodity futures then, and I said, this is the platform that I want to build to help companies who want to hedge on the London Metal Exchange. And thankfully, my father at that time guided me, and he said, can we do a prototype first and see before you build all of it, right? So I think just the ability to say, okay, let's try small, let's try quickly, and then see if we can manage this. I also think organizations now need to, invest a lot in learning. I feel that's something that we lose sight of, because we become like frogs in the well, because what we are doing best, we know everything. I feel, at least in our organization, in my, in Anand Rathi as well as in Lakshmi, I think the urge to constantly learn and see what is happening out there is very, very important in today's time. So I would put these.
Awesome. So if I wanted just two words, do I say listening and learning?
I would say learning, and I would actually say innovation. For innovation, you have to push every person to, I think we strongly believe that you need to know your customer. The customer is telling you the need, only then you will innovate. I mean, for example, Lakshmi came out of the space where I met women, and I realized that they're just not doing this. And, you do some back-end calculation, you're saying this is half the population that nobody is targeting to, and the whole world is focused on targeting to the other half, and they are in this race to say, how do we snatch customers, whereas there's this entire set of, customer base that nobody is speaking to. Awesome. So I think customer and learning, I think, talking to your customer and learning, I think that's the two things I would say.
Iqbal. Till then, Akshay, you're ready. Go on, Iqbal.
For this innovation, I would like to say, आपने सब सुना होगा कि identify the gap. मैं कहता हूँ identify the gap and evaluate it. आपने जितना मुश्किल होगा, आपने एक gap identify किया, कोई process में, कोई business में, कोई नए venture के लिए, उस process को, उस gap को fulfill करना जितना tough होगा, उतना अच्छा वो business होगा, क्योंकि वो हर कोई नहीं करेगा. अगर उस गैप को फिल करना इजी होगा और सब लोग, आपने शुरू किया, आपको देख के 50 लोग और आ जाएंगे, ठीक है, इजी होगा तो आपका कंपटीशन फटाफट बढ़ जाएगा. अब सेकेंडली, इवेल्युएट के अंदर एक और चीज आती है कि आपने इवेल्युएट करने के वेयर यू आर स्ट्रांग. इफ इट इज डिफिकल्ट टू फुलफिल इट, हाउ कॉम्पिटेंट, हाउ कैपेबल यू आर, पर्टिकुलरली इन पर्टिकुलर वन प्रोसेस ऑफ दैट फंक्शन, वो इवेल्युएट मैं कहता हूँ उसको. दूसरा चीज मेरा फेवरेट है, मैं कहता हूँ कि कीप योरसेल्फ आइडल. कुछ मत करो धंधे में, कुछ मत करो. कीप योरसेल्फ आइडल फ्रॉम डे टू डे ऑपरेशंस. मॉनिटर द लॉजिक्स ऑफ द डिसीजंस बीइंग हैपनिंग, ऑफ द प्रोसेसेस बीइंग अंडरटेकन. ठीक है, दो चीजों, अपने को वेले रखो, काम करने की जरूरत नहीं, तभी धंधा बड़ा होगा. आप खुद काम करेंगे तो धंधा बड़ा नहीं होगा. Thank you.
There are three things actually, and one is you have to be engaged with the customer continuously. And here, when I say customer, it is not only a consumer that you are selling your product or service to, but customer is from the back to the front and in process, whoever is coming to you as a stakeholder. So be engaged with that customer. Second thing is be consistent and be passionate about it. So if these three things are put together, probably the innovation happens out of, as a fruit out of these 2-3 things, apart from what our panelists are saying. That's what my points are.
Great. Ankit?
See, what I think is to innovate, you have to be open to changes. If you are flexible to change, the innovation will happen. As we discussed on the call, I believe that experience is good, but experience comes with the baggage. So you have to balance your experience and your thoughts to innovate. Also, one important thing is, innovation has no end. You can innovate a lot, but it should always be, for everyone. It should be price. You should have to keep price in the mind. It should be affordable. Like Dhirubhai Ambani said, mobile phone in 500 rupees for everyone. So you make an innovative product, but also keep price in the mind that it should be affordable to the masses. For my product, I am talking. So that's one of the important things. Yeah.
Akshay?
Yeah, so in my learning, in my experience, 2 things. One, openness. Openness within the company, within the culture. You need to be open to hearing ideas. You need to be open to discussions despite disagreements. So I think I've been very lucky because my father always heard us out, and that's the culture throughout the company. Everyone gets a chance to speak. People on the ground know their jobs better than we know their jobs. So obviously listen to them, be open to hearing feedback, be open to hearing ideas from them. That's one. The second one is quest for improvement. So there's always the next milestone, right? So if you set forward a milestone, ठीक है हमें ये इस तरीके से बेहतर करना है. When you hit that milestone, celebrate, yeah, for sure. Take some time off, celebrate that milestone. But again, then look forward to the next one. इससे बेहतर अब क्या हो सकता है? Unless you've got that quest for improvement, unless you've got that hunger for improvement, you will not take innovation seriously. So I think openness and quest for improvement.
Okay, awesome. So we're getting into specific questions now. Whoever in the audience has questions, we've got some question cards that are being circulated around. If you want, just write down your questions and send it here in interest of time. Make sure you mention your name on it. We'll be filtering a few and asking these questions for you. So please send in your questions. Ankit, we spoke on the call and you mentioned that a key change that you did as an innovation in your system that really helped you was changing your credit cycle and bringing all your business to advances. Yeah. And just understand the kind of decision he's gone through, taking all his business to advance payments. Am I right? Yes. Barring a very few. So can you run us through the whole thought process? Yeah. Because this just sounds scary, right? I mean, it does. Yeah, sounds scary? Hands. Yeah, come on. Go for it, Ankit.
Yeah, so when I joined the business, it was Agarbatti business is in credit. Even today, majority company do business on credit. And when I joined, so my father told me, see, business ऐसे होता है, अपना 60 दिन का payment आता है, but वो late भी करता है, तो we cannot say anything. But yes, we have to make payment on time. A supplier cannot call you for payment. So I said, how is it possible that my customer is not paying me on time and I pay on time? So, okay, then I think one of the reasons which forced me into this was FMB. My classmates, one is here, Tushar, the other one is not here, Rahul. Even Deepak Agarwal is here. I used to talk to them a lot, and they said that हमारा product तो advance payment में बिकता है. And I was surprised how it is possible. Then I'll also give some credit to Murthy sir, who's sitting here. He always used to tell us, talk to the customers, don't ignore the customer, you talk to the customer. So I went in the market, I spoke to the customer, I said कि यार advance payment करेंगे तो कैसा रहेगा? And talking about advance payment in my house was like, you cannot talk about it. Credit पे आता है payment, अगरबत्ती तो credit पे बिकती है. There's nothing like advance payment. Your friends don't know. ऐसे ही होता है. So I went say UP में गया, मैंने बोला आप advance payment. So they said yes, we don't have any problem. But the issue is कि आप इंदौर से माल भेजेंगे तो हमें 15 दिन में 10-12 दिन में माल मिलेगा और टूट फूट होगी और हम लोग को follow करना पड़ेगा payment. So I said what happens if I make a point near you and you get the goods in 48 hours after doing the payment and the material is also fresh. They're okay. So that's how we created our offices. We have 35 offices now, and from Gujarat to Guwahati and Kashmir to Kanyakumari, Z Black Agarbatti is available within 48 hours. The customer makes the payment and he gets it in 48 hours. So I thought that it was not about the payment, it was about the service. So the better service you give to the customer, he'll pay you back for sure.
How many SKUs do you have in stock?
About 1,200.
And any product selected in any region, all India, 48 hours. That's your
so 1,200. See, India is a big country. All products don't get sold everywhere. So our one depot would have about 400 SKUs at a point of time. So yes, those 400. Say Guwahati depot has 400 SKUs. So for Northeast, within 48 hours, any of those 400 SKUs. And even if it's not there, in 5 days it will be made available in Guwahati, and then further 2 days from there.
And so how many days of stocks of finished goods or raw materials would you be keeping? Just to give us numbers in terms of days of revenue.
60 days.
60 days of finished goods alone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Brilliant. But I think the change was possible only because you had the supply chain sorted and the service available. I mean, the inventory there.
Yes. I think every business is a service. You have to take it as a service to the customer, and the better service you give, the better perks you're going to get.
Yeah, awesome. Girish ji, coming to you, you mentioned some numbers about curd making, and you mentioned privately we had a chat. Can you mention the size of the vessel where you make curd and how many such vessels you have? And just to
we have a dahi handi, we can say, of 1 ton each, and there are around 4 for the one batch. So 4 containers of 1 ton we set the dahi in one batch.
And how easy was it for you?
1 ton is 1,000 kilo.
Yeah. How easy was it for you to bring a curd making process from a normal small process to that size? I'm sure then that needed a lot of process or optimization and things like that. So what was the way you went about this change, and how much time did it take?
It's quite an engineering process, and lot of similar things are there for cheese and paneer. Not for the paneer, because again paneer is an Indian product which was not mechanized at that time. And definitely for the cheese, and they put the enzyme and curdle it, and in certain point of time you have to take it out and pump it in different vessels. So we adopted those technologies for curd, and probably at that time even Amul was not having those type of technologies in so massive scale for dahi kind of thing, because for the dahi or curd, we have to culture it in a tank of that 1 ton, and before setting it, we have to pour and pack into small containers of 100 gram, 200 gram, 1 kg. So, and then the setting is done in that small retail caps. So that was a challenge. So within 15 minutes, you have to, fill this thing. So high-speed machines were required, and we asked the machine manufacturers to make it for us with that high speed and high scale.
And when you say the vessel is 1,000 kgs, what was the scale up when you started it for the first time? What was the size and sort of?
It was very small, around, still it was small, around 200 kgs.
Okay.
And we used to have it with semi-mechanical kind of thing. So lot of wastage was there, because till the time you pack it, it was getting set, and people used to, many a times people say that you should have the stirred yogurt than set yogurt instead of having the technology, so that you have the curd set into the tank, stir it and then fill it. But we said that Indian mindset is for the set curd. You always see all the companies advertising that even if you turn around the ball, the curd will be set like jelly. So people love that curd with that, kind of solidness. So we have to address to that.
Another question, do you have any internal mechanism to assess an innovation? How do you understand the potential of it, the potential revenue, the potential cost? How do you assess any innovation?
Yeah, actually, when I said that constant connect with the customer, consistency and passion, that sets the stage. Actually, we every time in and out we see what are the problem areas, as you said, the gaps between what is there and what is required and what is missing. And this prompted us to, make more innovations possible. And we don't innovate or adopt the technologies for the sake of having the technology. Somebody is having, I should also have kind of thing. We really judge on its adaptation and value addition to the business we are running in. So unless and until we are convinced about its usefulness, we don't go for that innovation for kind of fashion. It has to be inbuilt, it has to be a passionate thing. It has to really change the system. And then only, and changing the system means more positively for the whole business. It's not just change the business, but changing the system for more business productivity, opportunity, like that. So hum wahi innovation we do, which will focus on, which will ultimately convert into a good sizable disruptive business.
Awesome. We haven't been receiving any questions. Just a reminder, anyone has questions, please fill the cards and start sending it over. That will take time. So Preeti, over to you. Can you give us examples where competitors may have responded to some customization of products or innovation done by you? Was there any knee-jerk reaction in the market? How did you respond to those? I mean, any stories there?
I think one, our financial services business is fairly commoditized. So I think it's very hard not for somebody to emulate, but I think you have to very clearly build your own, I think, agility, build your USP there, build, I think like, Iqbal also said that you need to know that this is your competence. I think then it is, for example, there is Zerodha, everybody knows Zerodha. Why aren't there more Zerodhas? A lot of people have tried to build Zerodha, but there is a certain USP that, and you're obviously your first mover advantage that you have. So I think those are things, for example, I come back to the wealth management piece where I'll say that we've simplified it. It's very easy for anybody to sort of also do the same thing, just simplify it. It's in fact easier. So you're not building more, you're actually making it easier. But I think it begins from the mindset, because if there is so much insecurity to say, no, if we are doing 20 products, why should we cut it down? Why should we get it to just 3? We'll lose out on whatever. So I think it's also mind shift. In this day and age, I don't think any business is difficult to copy, but execution is what is the key, and I think we've been taught that time and again. Anybody can copy your strategy, anybody can look at it, and it's the same thing in Lakshmi. I think we are the first financial platform for women. And what stops all financial services firms out there to build the same thing that we are building? But I think the magic is in how are you executing it. And I truly believe that that's where an entire focus should be. So, yeah.
Okay. Iqbal, the question to you, same competition continued. I hear Yogi's building one film city as well. Any thought process there?
That's not a competition, bro. वो बड़ी film city बना रहा, हम छोटी बना रहे हैं.
Yeah, see the thought process? Amazing.
That film city is basically development, like जैसे colony काटते ना, ऐसा film city होता है. So they'll be inviting producers or investors from Mumbai and other cities to invest in that place, open up their studios. So it's sort of that type of visibility. Mine is totally different. Mine is on the parameters of Ramoji like. So Ramoji was designed in 90s and अब वो era भी change हो गया, technology change हो गई. अब सारा VPS आ रहा है. Now we are working on VPS part. ठीक है. अब मेरे को रामोजी कर रहा है 1680 एकड़ से 500 करोड़. मेरे को 50 एकड़ से 500 करोड़ करना है. ठीक है. तो अब टेक्नोलॉजी बदल गया. अच्छा दूसरी बात एक होती है कंपटीशन क्या होता है. अभी 50 स्टूडियोज बन गए. When we started in Chandigarh, near Chandigarh, in 2017-18 we started it. So देख के सब लोग हम भी बनाते हैं. पैसा लगाने वाले पंजाब में बहुत बैठे हैं लोग. तो सब लोगों ने बना दिया. So 50 odd studios we have right now in Punjab, but it is the only Punjab Film City of the perfect picture location, which is 24-hour operational. जहाँ 24 घंटे आपको शूटिंग मिलेगा. मेरा टारगेट सिर्फ 2 है. So FMB करने के बाद मैं समझा कि टर्नओवर इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं होता, प्रॉफिट इम्पोर्टेंट होता है.
अमेजिंग, बिल्कुल
बहुत बढ़िया होता है. वहाँ हम लोग बॉयलर बिजनेस में 200-250 करोड़ टर्नओवर करते थे और 6-7% पे लिक्विड फ्लो पे प्ले करते थे. यहाँ टर्नओवर छोड़ो कितना होना, प्रॉफिट ही 60% से ऊपर है. टोटली डिफरेंट. सो दूसरा है कि आपने आपका जो मार्केटिंग डिज़ाइन है, जो आपका बिजनेस डिज़ाइन है, आपने किस तरीके से जाना है मार्केट में, क्या आपने कैप्चर करना है, किस तरह कैप्चर करना है, वो आपकी यूएसपी है. नोबडी कैन कॉपी यू, दे कैन कॉपी योर बिजनेस, योर ड्रेस, है ना. मेरा कोई कोट पैंट कॉपी कर सकता है, मेरे को थोड़ी कॉपी कर लेगा, वो तो मैं ही हूँ. सो ये जुनून धंधा करने वाले के अंदर होता है. ये एफएमबी ही है इसका प्रूफ. तो प्रूफ एफएमबी है सबसे बड़ा प्रूफ कि जिसका जो विजन होता है उसको कंपटीशन कभी इम्पैक्ट नहीं करता. नेवर.
Awesome. So to take this thought process further, it's also that an innovation mindset, when an innovator has modified a product and come up with a solution, while someone can very easily copy paste the solution, the thought process and the effort that's gone into customizing this and being the first mover cannot be taken away from this innovator. So I think it's always better to innovate and be upfront rather than just worry about how will people respond and you know what will happen in the market. So we've got some questions. Yeah.
Because this is the first person who designs the process, gap, identify the gap. He always has the edge. क्योंकि वो एक विजन दूरदृष्टि के साथ में ही चला होता है. उसको पता है कि मेरा विजन क्या है, मैंने पहुंचना कहाँ है. तो जो कॉपी करते हैं, कंपटीशन में आते हैं, वो वहाँ तक विजन नहीं होती उनकी. उनको लगता है यार पैसा डाल तो पैसा आ रहा है. थैंक यू.
Great. I see a question here from my sister, so I have no choice but to give her a chance. What I'm going to do is I've got 3 good questions filtered out already. Quickly passing the mic. Can someone help me with the mics in the audience, please? Very quickly we'll ask these. Till then, Akshay, a question to you. While doing these sort of celebrity fan engagements, etc., have things gone wrong very badly? Where because celebrities have tantrums. I mean, okay, while in your case it's easy where you tell them give a video. I'm sure there's been cases where the video's been really bad and consumers aren't happy. Or can you give us some bad stories also?
They happen all the time, Gaurav. When you're dealing with celebrities, of course, a lot of their tantrums do come in with the package. So let me tell you something which went very bad and then something which went very good as well. Let me start with the good piece first. So while we were building this for fans, right? So individual fans could reach out and connect with their favorite celebrities. Khud ke liye, gift to friends, family, co-worker, spouse. And we worked very hard on the supply side. So today Tring offers, and Tring is the largest platform in Asia to offer 13,000 celebrities in just one place, right? So, and these are celebrities from different genres. So we've got movie stars, TV stars, sports personalities, music artists, athletes, and so on. So while we were building this for fans, we did get a lot of inbound demand that came from businesses. Now, we're speaking on a business forum, so I would want to touch this point. A lot of businesses reached out and said, we can't afford a Ranveer Singh. But we want somebody to represent our business, to be an ambassador, or to announce our new product, new store opening, new branch opening, something like that. And can you suggest some celebrities who would fit an X budget? And we realized that was a big gap because India is poised to have 100 million small and medium enterprises in the next couple of years. And these are upcoming businesses which want to stand out from competition, which have the money to spend on marketing and have the intent to promote their brand. So we recognized this as an opportunity, and the good thing here was we were doing wonders for the business because we were offering them a lot of celebrities in one place. We were doing this in the most transparent manner as possible. We were doing this for a fraction of the cost, and we were doing this at an average turnaround time of 48 hours. Can you imagine, you place a request for a celebrity to promote your brand and you get a video asset in 48 hours from that celebrity. So it worked very well for the brands. For the celebrities, this was pretty interesting again because they made a lot more money on per celebrity, per transaction here. And for Tring, it was great because of course we were enjoying both sides of the table there. But in one such situation, things did go bad. The brand was not at all happy with the product they received. The celebrity said they'd done everything as per the expectations of the brand. And now us as a facilitator, we were in a bad spot because I can't lose a customer and I can't spoil a budding relationship with the celebrity. So at our expense, we fixed it. We paid more to the celebrity to reshoot the video. Of course, with that did cost us a lot of money, but that was essential because we're still a growing business. We want to make our place in the market, and एक video asset तो यार ठीक है spend कर लेंगे, but brand से रिश्ता खराब नहीं करना and celebrity का भी loss नहीं कराना. So that's how we salvaged that relationship. But yeah, these things happen time and again, and then there was a learning there as well. So the brand was so happy with the video that came out the second time around. They came back and said, yaar, hamara video ka usage rights was, let's say, I don't remember the exact number, but 6 months tha. Can I extend my rights now? And there was a new product offering for us there. That was a new value added service that we could identify there. And we then started offering brands opportunities to extend their usage right periods as well. So cheezein kharab hoti hai, seekho unse, fix karo, aage badho.
Awesome. One very interesting question. I'm just quickly, in interest of time, asking them myself. Question is from Rajesh Goyal. Very valid question. How do you manage conflict within the family while taking disruptive decisions? So maybe there's an innovation, but all don't sort of agree on the same line of thought. So how do you resolve disagreements towards a certain innovation where, let's say, two members want to do something and the other doesn't believe in the whole story? So how do you address conflict in a decision which is disruptive?
Sorry, go ahead. You wanted to add? Go ahead.
Being in 4th generation enterprise and too many people at the top as well, it becomes really a tough decision to do it. But once you set certain goals for your growth, then these conflicts get a little bit resolved with that continuation with the goal and seeing the future in time. Of course, there is one more thing to that, that innovation is one of the tool, as far as what you said, to fix your own ego in your own family system. So my innovation, your innovation, if that happens, that is not the innovation actually. That is one of the areas of focus or priorities to set his own score within the family. So it has to be taken out from the innovation circuit and put aside from the personal egos, and whether that innovation or disruption or focus really is going to help the business has to thought first, and that we do in our system. And we put out all the egos aside, and somebody who suggests some change in the system, we first appreciate it from business point of view, and then let that personal thing come up with it. So far so good, but it is definitely a key area.
I'd like to add something here. There's a terminology called making elephants dance. And I think it's very valid in family businesses, because if, the sort of the patriarch or whoever's built the first generation who's built the business, there is a certain sense of, I know how this is run. And I think at least with us, what has really worked is for anybody to go and say, I have an idea, that doesn't work. I think you really need to get, maybe some result area. That means do a smaller prototype and get buy-in. I think that's very important. If I know that early on when I would go and say, okay, this is something I've thought of, let's do this. It would be more, one, framing it, that what do you think, should I try this? Try it a little bit, get the buy-in from everybody so that everybody feels it is as much their idea. It's not just an innovation that you are doing. I feel in family setups, this is very, very important and probably one effective way of navigating.
Awesome. I think this is the best note to close this on, which is that the innovation has to arise out of the business need and not because it's some personal ambition to pull off some trickery. You know, I think that's a beautiful note to end this on. And Ankit,
I would say, communication is the key. You have to be transparent and open. You have to communicate it clearly, and either you convince me or I convince you. And once the decision has been taken, it's a collective responsibility. अगर वो fail है तो ऐसा नहीं, मैंने तो पहले ही बोला था ये नहीं होने वाला है. Once the decision is taken, it's everyone's decision.
Oh, that's true.
Even if I was not agreeing to it, I have said yes to it. So it should be everyone's decision. It is right or wrong, that's a different story.
Awesome. I think that's our time, everyone. Back to the...
Thank you so much. It was an amazing session.